Good morning, guys. Welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a really long entire wardrobe kind of tour slash inventory and chatty video. So the first part is going to be me just kind of vlog style updating you guys about a few things I'm doing around my bedroom and around the home and just some of my aspirations and inspirations, I guess. And then I'm also going to be sharing with you a little bit of my philosophy in regards to wardrobe and dresses and why I love wearing dresses so much and why I shop where I do and where I shop from and a whole bunch of other stuff. So you might not want to miss it, but if you don't want to sit and listen to chit chat, you are welcome to skip ahead. I will try to remember to put a timestamp as to when I actually get into the pieces that are in my wardrobe. But yeah, without further ado, let's jump into it. If you guys are new here, welcome. My name's Alithia. On this channel, I pretty much share anything that brings me joy, and currently I am just absolutely loving wardrobe and embracing a more traditionally feminine day-to-day wardrobe, specifically not resorting to wearing activewear on the daily or not just dressing up for special occasions, but making every day an occasion to dress up and feel wonderful. So with that out of the way, you guys, let's get started in today's video. All right, guys, good morning. Welcome to another video. Happy Wednesday. I don't know why I'm so awkward when I start my videos. It's just like there's no natural way to say hello to somebody when you're filming yourself. So yeah, today's another sort of vlog day. I feel like all my videos are sort of vlog style these days. It's basically just like me sharing thoughts with you guys, and got a couple projects on the go today. And then also, obviously, if you saw the title of today's video, this video is me sharing with you all of the dresses, skirts, well, everything in my wardrobe pretty much in terms of like day-to-day wear that I currently have. So today's video is not going to have coats, unless I think there's a couple in my closet I could show you. You know, I could go down and get my couple other coats. I could share coats today too. I'm not going to go through all of my shoes in detail. This video would just be way too long if I did that. But the whole primary purpose of today's video was I wanted to basically share with you guys my dresses and my skirts and also some of my sweaters, because I have been, if you guys follow me on Instagram, I have been sharing over on my Instagram pretty much all of my outfits of the day. Every time I put on a dress or any kind of an outfit, I always share it with you guys. And I have been getting a ton of requests and a ton of questions about where I get my dresses and things like that, and just like a lot of really positive feedback, which I'm really grateful about. So that's the primary purpose of today's video. And as you can see, I just made myself another coffee. This is technically my third coffee of the day, but my first one I didn't finish, and my second one I didn't finish because I was at the dog park. And it got cold and I ended up just chucking it. But this is a pumpkin spice flavored coffee. It doesn't have any sugar or sweetener, so it's just pumpkin spice flavored. And then it just has a whole ton of cream in it. And it has also collagen powder. And I'm using my pumpkin mug because I'm trying to milk the pumpkin vibes as long as I possibly can before the weather changes. It is the middle of October, and in a couple weeks, I feel like it's going to feel like fall's sort of ending and winter's on its way. And so I really just want to enjoy the fall vibes while I can. I'm in such a cozy era of my life. I feel so good right now in the part of my life that I'm in right now. Like I feel 10 times better right now than I did 5 months ago. And definitely like 10 times better than I did a year ago, just like in general where things are at, what I'm doing, the things I'm focusing on, the habits I've created for myself, the way that I carry myself, the things that I do for myself. Like it's just my whole life I'm sort of falling in love with. Not that I didn't love my life before, but things feel like they're falling into place. Things feel right at the moment. So this is just a little look around my room at the moment. Things are not super organized because I have laundry on the go, and this pile of clothing that's on the bed is some stuff I wanted to show you in today's video that needs to go in the wash. And in those boxes there are a couple of items for the bed. As I told you guys, I'm trying to kind of redecorate my room and really my home a little bit, going more in a vintage sort of prairie house, antique, almost Victorian style vibes. Like I want my home to be cozy. I want it to have more of that like cozy antique vibe to it, not so much like clean and Instagram aesthetic and like minimalist and Scandinavian and where everything is like rather sterile. I want everything to be very cozy. So we'll talk more about that after. I'll do that in a separate video. I think I'll do like share with you guys the stuff that I've gotten to make things a little bit more cozy. I've been going more in that direction lately, and so that's why my bed doesn't look like it's very well made or anything. The duvet cover actually really needs to be washed, but I didn't bother because I knew I was going to be switching out my bedding today. And yeah, I've got like my little old vintage looking clock in the corner, which I've had for a while. That lamp on the side table I might be switching out, which I'll talk more about after as well. And then I also have my Kobo sitting here, which I want to do I want to start doing, not really book reviews, but I want to share with you guys like the books that I found, what I've been liking reading, and share with you like my little Kobo library. I've just been loving my Kobo. Such a great investment. If you guys are thinking about getting a Kindle or a Kobo, I've never used a Kindle, but I love my Kobo now. You guys know that I love books and I love reading, and I especially love classic books, but I feel like I don't have anywhere to keep all of my books. Like there's no good place in my house to keep all my books. Every time I've tried to set up a bookshelf, it just seemed like, where do I stop? Like, do I just buy all of the books that I want to read? And then what do I do if I don't enjoy the book? How do I find it a new home? Do I really need to be purchasing every single book in the physical form that I want to read? Or is it more environmentally friendly and cheaper just to do the Kobo version? But long story short, since getting my Kobo, I have been reading a lot more often, and I've just been absolutely loving it. There's so many benefits to having a Kobo, but I'll do a separate video talking about that. And I've been reading a lot of like fall books and cozy books that really are putting me in just such a good frame of mind right now. Like I'm reading a lot of classics, I'm reading like a lot of cozy books, and it's just all coming together so nicely with like the vintage decor and the coziness of it all and the time of year and the fact that all the leaves are turning yellow and orange and falling off the trees. And I've been taking my dog out every morning and spending a lot of time outdoors, and it's just all like all very closely intertwined, and wearing dresses all the time, and particularly wearing more retro and vintage inspired dresses. I really feel like I'm morphing into this version of myself that has been in me for so long, waiting to come out, and it's just like it's finally all coming together, and it's so nice. So anyway, I'll do a separate Kobo video sharing with you some of my my entire Kobo library and what I've read and what I've liked or haven't liked so far. And I'll share with you like my Kobo review, like how it works, why I like it so much, and some recommendations there. Maybe I'll do that as like one of my next videos coming up. But I definitely recommend, I give it 2 thumbs up if you are looking to get a Kobo, and it's also like pretty affordable. For example, all the classic books are like 99 cents, which is a lot better than buying them full price at the bookstore. And then this over here is a duvet cover set that I'm thinking I might put together and see if I'm even gonna like it. I have one duvet cover set there, and I have another one in one of those boxes. This one's got a print on it. This one has is not printed. It's just like a light beige with ruffles, and that's kind of the vibes I'm going for, but I'm not really sure which one I'm going to go with yet. So this is just on my bed for now. That's a project for later today. And then on my dresser, you guys can see that I have this lamp here that I got from Walmart, and it is definitely a more antique inspired lamp, which I love. As soon as I saw it, I knew that it would be the perfect addition, because I want things like, previously I've wanted everything to be light and white and like brightly colored, because it all kind of went with the aesthetic. But what I'm craving now more than anything is just coziness, warmth, familiarity. I want something that takes me back. I want to feel, when I'm in my home, I want to feel like I'm in a cozy, I don't know how the best way to put it, like I guess just a cozy traditional atmosphere that almost makes me feel like maybe it's 120 years ago, you know, like those kind of vibes, like the late 1800s Victorian home. I've been loving watching home tours as well on YouTube, like tours of houses that were built in like 1750, 1760, and parts of them have been updated, but a lot of the original flooring and original knobs and stuff like that remain. I just think it's so charming and so beautiful. And if I was to buy a home right now, that would be the type of home I would want. I would want to find a character home that's, you know, a good 100, 150 years old and has a lot of the original attributes still remaining in the home. That's what I would want. That's just what I'm after right now. If you would have asked me 5-6 years ago what kind of home I wanted, I would have said I wanted something brand new and modern, Pinterest or Instagram worthy. But now I'm just feeling a whole different kind of way. And so, yeah, I never would have picked this kind of lamp. I probably would have gone with something glamorous, and I really like this one. So I like that it's a little bit dingy looking. I like that it's brown and tan and doesn't at all go with the like bright, fresh vibes. I just need something to ground it in here. It doesn't mean that my entire home has to turn vintage. I just want, you know, I still want it to be like clean and moderately updated, but not super modern. I don't know if you guys have seen, but there's a lot of like reels going around right now on Instagram that are showing like the way architecture and housing used to be compared to today. And it literally just looks so like sterile and boring and without any kind of soul or character compared to 100 years ago. And it's just really sad to me. So I just want to bring a little bit of that back into my home. Okay, guys, so I'm just going to stand behind the camera now and just share some thoughts with you guys and talk a little bit about, first of all, a quick refresher about my wardrobe changes, what I have been implementing for the last few months, sort of my philosophy, some thoughts behind that, and then a little bit of chatting about where I like to get my pieces and why. And then we'll get into the pieces. I think it'll help things go a little bit faster once I actually start sharing with you the pieces. And if you haven't seen my last few videos, or maybe you have, but maybe you are still interested in hearing a little bit of chit chat about my philosophy, basically I started wearing exclusively dresses and skirts this summer. I never used to be big into pants or jeans anyway. If you've seen my other videos, you know that I just don't wear jeans very often. I've had a couple pairs in my wardrobe, but almost never reached for them. Even if I was going on vacation or anytime I was getting ready to do anything during the day, if I was going out, if I was getting my nails done, going for coffee, going shopping, going out for dinner, anything, going to a work meeting, I always pick a skirt over jeans or a dress over a jeans outfit. And I couldn't really figure out why that was, because as I've talked about before, there's nothing wrong with jeans. But for me personally, what I have discovered is they just don't make me feel my best version of myself. And what I think it comes down to is my personal style. And one of my style words, or one of my style descriptors that is very, very true to me and important to me, kind of subconsciously almost, is femininity. So it's not as if I woke up one day and was like, you know what, I have to be as feminine as I can be. I have to dress as feminine as I can be. And here are my reasons. It's just that I feel my best when I dress femininely. I feel my best when I present myself and put myself together in very feminine ways. For example, I like my hair to be long. I like it to be curled. I like wearing jewelry. I like pearls. You know, in the past, I wasn't much of a sneaker person. I have started wearing sneakers a little bit more, but most times I would choose either a pointy toe flat or a ballet flat or high heels. I've just always been more into feminine things. You guys know that if you've watched my channel. I love my pearls. I love everything feminine. And so femininity for me is one of my key descriptors in terms of just like how I live my life, I think, how I carry myself, and also my wardrobe for sure. And so I couldn't really pinpoint like, what is it about jeans that doesn't sit well with me? Why don't I like them? And I realized it's because they're a little bit more androgynous and they're not that typical feminine silhouette, which would be like an A-line skirt. So that's how I feel my best. And so what happened for me this summer, I've talked about this before. You can skip this if it's not important to you, but I think it's nice, like when you're interested in something, especially if I'm interested in something, I do like to hear people talk about it over and over and over. That's just what I like. And I have had so many people write me on Instagram and say, I've been loving this, like this new content. I've been loving your dress wardrobe. I've been loving your pictures and your choices. And can you please share more dress stuff? Can you please share more wardrobe stuff and more feminine videos and stuff like that? So people, I think, are enjoying it. And I hope that today's video will be inspirational, helpful, or just at the very least make you feel like you're sitting here having coffee with a friend. So what happened for me, why I started wearing dresses. First of all, it's not that I never wore dresses, obviously. I just told you that I've always chosen dresses and skirts over jeans. But what was happening for me is I would only ever put myself together and really do a fully get ready, like hair, makeup, and put on a nice dress or a nice outfit if I had an occasion or reason to do so. So if I had a work meeting, if I was going for dinner, if we were on vacation, if I had a nail appointment, because I usually like to feel dressed up or put together when I go to appointments and things like that. If I had something in particular to go to, but that wasn't very often. Like we make it a point to go out for a really nice dinner at a nice restaurant at least once a month, just to get out and feel like a couple and like just to do that, because otherwise life can be very ho-hum if you just always are in every night. And it's important for couples to keep going out on dates and to keep dating, right? So that might only happen once a month, maybe twice a month. My nails, I get them done once a month. A vacation, that happens even fewer and further between. So we might go away once or twice a year, right? And so I wasn't putting myself together. I wasn't feeling my best. Like in those moments when you do your hair, you do your makeup, you put on a nice outfit, you feel your best during those times. But the rest of the time, which was like 95% of the time, I would say, I was pretty much living in loungewear. I was living in pajamas. I was staying at home. I wasn't putting any effort into my hair or makeup. A lot of times I would literally spend the entire day with my hair pulled back in a bun with a headband on. I would literally wear nothing but sunscreen because all I was doing was cleaning, getting groceries, cooking, doing errands, running my daughter to sports, walking the dog, and doing other domestic things and making YouTube videos. So there was really no reason for me to get all dressed up, right? And that was what I was doing. And I have been struggling a lot with my mental health over the last couple of years. And it got particularly worse once we got the dog, once we got Ivar, because then not only was I already pretty much living in loungewear, but now I was also spending a great deal of time outside in the elements. I live in Canada, so I was outside multiple times a day. We were potty training him or house training him. It was cold outside. It was snowy. I was getting the snow blowing in my face. Everything in the house was getting destroyed. If you've ever had a new puppy, you know how stressful it is to have a brand new puppy in the house. I felt like I had no time for myself. I felt like I had no time for me and my partner. Everything was kind of even harder after we got the dog. So I already wasn't putting myself together very much, but then after we got the dog, I literally couldn't because he would be chewing on my sweaters and my shirts would get dirty and my shoes would get dirty. There was just no point in putting myself together. So it was a really hard few months. And then on top of it, it was winter. And I struggle with what I think many people do, seasonal affective disorder. I get a little bit more down in the winter. Last winter was one of my hardest winters I've ever been through. Things have settled down a lot. Things are much easier now. But anyways, up until the middle of the summer, I still wasn't really taking initiative to put myself together every day. And I thought, why would I? I live in a small town. It's not as though I'm going out for drinks. It's not as though I'm a socialite. It's not as though I go to parties all the time or go to special events. Who am I going to dress up for? The people at Walmart? Am I going to dress up for the post office? Am I going to dress up for running errands? Am I going to dress up when I'm literally not leaving the house? And part of that is I thought that dressing up was anytime I put myself together, like put on a dress, did my hair, did my makeup. Every day, what I have discovered is that every day is an opportunity to live your best life, be your best self, and feel good about yourself. I was waiting. I was constantly waiting for the next time we went for dinner, the next time we went for a trip, the next time I had an appointment, the next time the weather was nice and I actually had a day off and I would actually put myself together and go do a little bit of window shopping. And it would be very short-lived. Like I would get dressed, go out, do what I had to do, come back and immediately go back into my pajamas. And so that was like my 2-hour window, that was my 2 or 3 hour window to feel beautiful, to feel good about myself, to feel as though I was actually living my best life. And that's pretty crappy if you think about it. If you spend 95% of your life just waiting for that next vacation or waiting for that next holiday. And I think this is something that a lot of people can relate to because in today's world, especially with inflation and especially with how busy the world is and people who are busy moms and they work full time and all this kind of stuff, I feel like people are always at the grind and working hard and just waiting for that day off, waiting for something to happen. Or you're waiting for something to happen before you give yourself permission to be happy, right? Or you're saying, when I get married, I will feel this way. When we buy a house, I will feel this. When I lose the weight, I will feel this way. When summer comes, I will feel this way. Like we're always waiting for something to give ourselves permission to feel good about ourselves. And that was, not cutting it anymore. I mean, I'm in my 30s, guys. It's not as if I'm in my 20s and like everything's happy-go-lucky and I have my whole life ahead of me and, you just feel invincible and you feel like you have all the time in the world and you're a social butterfly and you don't need a lot of sleep. And when you're younger, everything's like kind of different. And it's okay if you want to sit around and lounge all day because like, you're going to school, you're going to university, you're getting out in the workforce. But as you start to get older, you start to really realize like, okay, this is my life now. Like, this is the grind. I'm a mother, I'm working, this is what I'm doing. Am I happy with my life? Like, am I happy doing the things I'm doing? Like, yes, I'm doing what I need to be doing. And maybe I'm very fulfilled and I'm very blessed and I have lots of things to be thankful for. But like, am I happy? And unfortunately, I was always thinking like when my partner and I finally get our house, which we've been talking about for years and just didn't happen because of the pandemic and all this other stuff and then work dynamics and things like that. I was always thinking like, well, eventually when we get our house and I become, the stay-at-home kind of housewife, whatever that I've always wanted to be, then I'll be living my best life, then I'll be happy. And of course that gets pushed off and that doesn't happen. Or I would buy a dress for New Year's and I would think, oh, I'm so excited. Like when New Year's comes, I'm going to wear that fancy dress. I'm going to wear those shoes and it's going to be so amazing. I'm going to feel so good about myself and it's going to be like the best time ever. And then of course, New Year's comes. New Year's of 2019 comes, New Year's of 2020 comes, 21, 22, 23. Of course, we were during lockdown during that time too, but also like I don't go out. I don't drink. I'm not a partier. I used to be when I was younger. I used to go out on the weekends and I would definitely go out on New Year's, but I'm not anymore. And so all of these occasions I was waiting for either weren't happening or they weren't happening fast enough. And I just kept thinking, and I literally kept thinking, I'm wasting my life. Like I am wasting my life waiting for things to be the way they should be, waiting for things to be perfect. And I felt like every year is another year of my life. A year goes by and I'm still doing the exact same thing I did last year and I'm still in the same city and I'm still in the same house. And I have been literally sitting in my pajamas for another year waiting for something, like waiting for life to get good, And even though life was good, like I had nothing to complain about. I have a good life. I've always had a good life. But I was really not living every day to its fullest advantage. The other thing that happened, there was kind of those thoughts. And then I also got sort of inspired at the same time. Thank goodness I did, because that's what kind of kicked this whole thing off by the tradwife trend, which has been going around on Instagram and YouTube. And say what you want about the tradwife thing. People think a lot of it is toxic. I don't think it is. That's a topic for another video, but basically there's been traditional homemakers and housewives for many, many years. I think that the toxic part of it is some of these tradwives make it look like you have to look perfect all the time, even if you just gave birth to a baby and you always have to look perfect. And that's not realistic. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about like, I was really inspired by these women who, even though they were just staying at home, even though they just went to church, read their Bible, cleaned the house, looked after the kids, did some baking, nothing fancy, literally nothing fancy, which is how I live my life most of the time. But they still were wearing a dress and I would watch them and I would think, wow, like she doesn't have a lot of makeup on. She just kind of looks really feminine and she looks really traditional and she's wearing a dress and she's living the life of the type of woman that I feel like we were intended to live. We were being homemakers. We're looking after our little ones. We're doing baking. We're doing cleaning. We're being there to serve our husbands. And we're looking and being very feminine. So I just thought it looked so nice. I thought, that's me. Like, that's how I spend my life. But why am I doing it in pajamas? Like, why do I feel like I look awful every day, sort of? Or like I don't feel that good about myself? I was like, I can be living the life I want to live every single day, even if I don't live the house. And so I was really inspired by watching some of these tradwife accounts and I started to aspire to want to do that. And at first I wasn't even planning to like wear a dress every single day when I went out. But I started watching more videos. I was like, let me see if other people like do this. So I started watching other videos about people who said that they wore dresses more often or people who said that they only ever wore dresses. And at first when I watched those videos, I thought, this sounds very daunting. Like, this sounds hard. How am I actually going to do this? Like, am I actually going to put on a dress every day? First of all, that sounds like a lot of work. That sounds like a lot of effort. It sounds like I have to think too hard and put in way too much effort every day. I don't always have the effort to do that. Like, maybe I'm tired. Maybe I just want to sit around and do nothing all day. Maybe I want to just be comfortable all day. Like, how is this possible? And I started watching videos and at first I was really skeptical and I thought, well, that sounds really nice in theory, but it also just seems kind of unattainable. It seems like something I won't do. I slowly started getting into it and I started asking myself questions like, okay, well, if I am going to wear dresses more often, what kind of dresses would they be? What colors would they be? What shapes? What fabrics? What cut? How do I want them to fit on my body? Am I going to be uncomfortable? Is it something I'm going to actually want to wear during the day? Or am I going to come home and want to just take it right off and put on sweatpants? Like, how is this going to look? So I started asking myself questions like that. I started taking some inspiration from some of these tradwife, not so much the ones you see on Instagram, not the ones that have like 1 million followers and they're like super pretty and they look like models. I was watching more of these Christian homemaker videos because I felt like it seemed more realistic. It was more like prairie house vibes. It was more like farm girl. I don't know about farm girl, but like, I guess more vintage and more retro, like just a smock style dress that was flowy, flowed away from the body, very comfortable, soft fabric, loose fitting, not restrictive at all. And I was like, you know what? That looks comfortable. Like, I could do that. And I was like, that's the first step, right? Just like getting comfortable wearing dresses more often. And so I started taking some inspiration from those videos and I started purchasing dresses, and that led me on this whole, like, since August basically, I have been purchasing dresses online almost nonstop, but I return the ones I don't like, which is the majority, and I keep one or two from like every couple orders that I do like, that does work for me. And slowly I have been building up this wardrobe of dresses. Throughout that time, I have also gotten rid of any pants that I had. A couple pairs of pants just were sitting there that I just hadn't worn in like 6 years. So it's not even that I was wearing these things. Like, they were just literally sitting there taking up space. I got rid of my shorts that I had. I had a couple pairs of like feminine shaped pleated shorts, which they were okay, but they don't really go with my new aesthetic. And I also got rid of the only pair of jeans I had remaining in my wardrobe. So I just kind of whittled things down. I went through my skirts. I made sure that I had outfits that I could actually easily put together. And I also expanded my skirt and my sweater and cardigan wardrobe a little bit, because that seems to be what works the best for me. Because if it's a cold day, you can wear a dress with a cardigan. And if it's a cold winter day or cold fall day, well, I haven't done winter yet, but if it's a cold fall day, you can wear a maxi skirt and a cardigan. You're actually quite warm. Throw on a pair of boots or a pair of like Birkenstocks, and you're actually quite warm. And then on top of that, you can also throw on a nice coat or a trench coat or something. So that seems to be doable. So far, I just haven't done winter yet, but I have like fall and summer down pat. And actually, I would say currently fall is my favorite season for wardrobe, because it's so easy and so comfortable to put together an outfit. I don't even have to think, and I just love it. Like, I love how I feel. I love how I look. It almost takes no thought at all. So before I start getting into where I get my items from, and then showing you the individual pieces, which this video is going to be so long because it's already so long, but I just want to say the reasons why I like this and the reasons it has changed, or the ways it has changed my life so far. So number one, when you wear only feminine items, being only dresses or skirts, you instantly look more put together. You instantly feel more put together. You look and feel as though you put in so much effort, when actually you put in less effort, because I've talked about this before, but it actually takes half as much time to put on a dress as it does to put on a pair of jeans and a shirt. It literally takes half the time to do that, and it looks 10 times more put together. So that's the interesting paradox, is that you spend less time and you look better when you wear dresses. It's a very simple thing. It's like a dress is a one garment head to toe outfit. It also reduces decision fatigue. It's very easy to get dressed because you don't have to think about putting things together. You don't have to worry about your top matching your bottoms. The other thing is that people start treating you differently, and usually better. I can do a whole video talking about this, and I probably will, because it's interesting what I've observed between men and women, how men and women treat you. But what I've noticed is that most people respond more positively to you. People are more willing to help you. People are more talkative. People want to be your friend more. People are more likely to have a conversation with you. People hold the door more. You're just more approachable. I think you just look more approachable when you dress elegantly, for one thing. Not just any dress, because there's some dresses that look not so approachable, we'll put it that way. But you just look more approachable, you look more friendly, you look more traditional, and there's something about an elegantly dressed, traditionally dressed woman that gives this feeling of familiarity, warmth, comfort, femininity, traditionalism, and elegance. The trademarks of a classy woman is that she treats herself with respect, she treats other people with respect, and she makes you feel comfortable. So it's not going to make people feel comfortable if you show up in a super tight-fitting dress that shows all your curves, and it shows a whole bunch of leg, and it shows cleavage, and you basically are trying too hard and you're showing too much, and that doesn't make people feel comfortable. You might get a few cat calls, you might get a few looks, you might have men looking at you a little bit, but overall it's not a good look, and it's not going to make people feel comfortable. So those are the things that happen when you wear dresses all the time. You feel more elegant, you feel more feminine, you instantly feel more beautiful, because to wear a beautiful dress makes you feel more beautiful. You don't even have to put that much effort in the rest of you. All you have to do literally is like give your hair a brush, maybe throw a curl in it or two, throw on a pair of earrings or maybe a ring, and do just a tiny bit of makeup, not a lot. You could even just do concealer and mascara. You don't have to do a lot. I myself have started doing a full face of makeup almost every single day just because I've been enjoying it. I've been getting into makeup more. And I've actually been finding it very therapeutic and very fun. And I've been really loving it to the point that now I actually feel almost naked if I go out without makeup, which is interesting because 5 months ago I only wore sunscreen and mascara. And sometimes I would do a full face if I had a reason, right? A reason, as if being alive isn't a reason. Having a day to wake up to and the sunrise isn't a reason, right? So now I've been doing that more often. But you don't even have to do that. The interesting paradox, like I said, about wearing dresses is that all you have to do is literally brush your hair. You don't have to put in any more effort on the days you wear a dress than the days you didn't. And you already look more elegant, more feminine, more sophisticated. You look like you put effort in. You look like you care. You look like you didn't just roll out of bed and show up. And I've also talked before about how I think it's a disrespect to ourselves and it's a disrespect to other people to not put in any effort. And we've gotten so lax and so liberal, I guess, for lack of a better word, in the ways that we are okay showing up in public. In pajamas sometimes, or just in a ratty t-shirt or a dirty old pair of shorts or a pair of leggings and a t-shirt, not even dirty, just like a pair of leggings and a t-shirt. Like that's what we default to. We have these like default things that are comfortable and easy. So we just go for them, even though they make us feel not so good. It's not the outfit you would want to wear running into somebody. Like a way to think about it is, what if I run into my boss at work? What if I run into an ex? What if I run into somebody I went to high school with? Do I want to be looking like I just rolled out of bed and threw my hair up in a bun and threw on some leggings and a t-shirt? Or would I want to give a good impression? Not that we care that much what other people think, but we also kind of have to care what other people think because it is the way it is. You know, we appreciate when other people have respect for us. We appreciate when other people put themselves together for us, and it makes us feel better about ourselves when we put ourselves together. That just is how it is. It doesn't mean that other people's opinions are the most important thing, but it definitely does impact your day-to-day life, and it impacts how people treat you, and it impacts the relationships that you're going to make, and it impacts the impressions you're going to give out. What I can say is that, and this is going to sound like a stretch, but it's not. I promise you, wearing a dress or dressing femininely if you're a woman and putting yourself together every day, you don't have to put in a ton of effort, but doing this will literally change your life. It has actually changed my life. Probably the 3 or 4 things that have really, really just made me feel so much better about myself. And even though I haven't changed my life, like I haven't changed the things I do, I'm still at home. I still don't do anything exciting. I still don't go to crazy events. I don't go on any more vacations than I used to. I don't go out for more dinners than I used to. I don't do anything different in my life really, but the things that have made me feel so much more happy is doing my makeup more often, which again, this sounds superficial, but it's true. I think a lot of you probably can relate, but doing my makeup more often, having my hair longer, leaving it down, curling it. I think it's a very feminine way to style your hair. It makes me feel really good about myself. And I have a really easy hairstyle. I literally just wash it. I put curls in it and the curls last for like 5 days and then I wash it again and start all over. So it's easy. It's not like it's hard to maintain either. Another thing probably is spending more time outside. I've been spending more time outside with my dog. I walk him every morning for like an hour and a half at the dog park and I really enjoy that. But then the other thing is wearing dresses. That literally, like, it is kind of difficult when you first start. Not difficult, but like you do feel uncomfortable at first because you feel overdressed, and you probably will be. Like when you go to places, like normal places, to get groceries, to do errands, you might just be the best dressed person there, and you have to be okay with that, and you have to get comfortable with that, because unfortunately, the truth is that most people these days have resorted to a life of mediocrity, and that's not just with their wardrobe, that's with everything. Most people these days are not fit. Most people do not eat really healthfully. A lot of people eat very mediocre, and a lot of people are mediocre in terms of their health and their fitness. It has become the norm to not be fit, to not be healthy, to not care about your appearance. It has become the norm to let yourself kind of slide, get takeout too often, and not get enough sleep. It has become the norm to go to the grocery store in leggings and a t-shirt. It has become the norm to have a potty mouth. So you have to be okay realizing that once you start leveling yourself up and doing things for yourself, and not to rub it in someone's face, not to be egotistical, not to feel like you're better than other people, that's not what it's about. But once you do these things for yourself, which brings you so much more joy and so much more happiness, and I can attest to that, and you change your life for the better, you have to be okay with realizing that you will probably be the 10%. You'll be in the top 10, maybe the top 5% of people who do that. Most people around you will not be doing it. And so you might go to Walmart, or you might go to Costco, or you might go to IKEA, or you might go to wherever, and you might feel like you're way too overdressed to be there. And you will get looks. Women will look at you, they will check you out. Men will look at you, they will pay more attention, they will be kinder to you, they will hold the door for you, they will help you out with your cart or your groceries, they will offer to do things for you. You will get more smiles from people, people will say hello to you, people will be more likely to talk to you, and people will look at you. Like when you walk down the aisle, do whatever it is that you're doing, people are going to stop and they're going to take notice, and you might feel uncomfortable. But you have to remember that it's not that you're doing anything weird. It's just that you're doing what's always been done for many, many years. It's just people quit doing it. People quit caring. And I think it's really sad, actually, that society has let itself get to a place where people just don't care. You know, people don't care about their health. People don't care about their fitness. People don't care about how much sleep they get, or they, don't make it a priority. People don't care about how much screen time they get. And people don't care what kind of impression they're giving off, and they don't care how they look either. They've succumbed to a life of mediocrity, I guess is the best way to put it. And so anyways, those are my thoughts before we get into the actual dresses. If you have not done it, I would say like how long it took me to get used to it sort of and to feel comfortable was maybe a week. And I kid you not, you guys, I have not gone out since August, like since probably I think it was the beginning of August. I have not gone out for anything in leggings and a t-shirt. The only place I go in like leggings and like sneakers and stuff is the dog park in the morning when I walk my dog and I'm walking my dog. The dog park is dirty. The dog park, like dogs were jumping up on you and stuff like that. I still will wear my dresses to the dog park in the afternoon when I take him for his second walk of the day. Because yes, he's a German Shepherd puppy. He's very active. So I don't change to go there in the afternoon unless it's really, really cold or something. But I still will wear my nice stuff in the afternoon because we just stop in, we go for a quick walk. I drink my coffee and he plays with other dogs and we go home. But like first thing in the morning, that's the only time that I still wear like activewear. And I think it's important to note as well, there's a time and a place, right? There's the thing to differentiate is that there's a time for athleisure. There's a time for leggings and a t-shirt. And that would be the gym or actually going to do exercise, going outdoors, going for a hike, going to the dog park, going for walks outside. That's the time. The time is not every single other waking hour of the day and every time you go out to do anything. Sorry, you guys, this was the one thing I wanted to talk about before I got into the wardrobe, and it's the one thing I completely forgot to mention, and that is where I get my clothes from. So I prefer to get higher quality clothing, and when it comes to shirts and sweaters and underwear and shoes and handbags, I feel like those things, it's better to get higher quality for a multitude of reasons. Shoes, obviously, like they're going to last longer. Handbags, I prefer to have a higher quality bag. Also, a bag is like a status symbol, so it's kind of nice to have just like one really nice bag versus having a whole bunch of cheap ones or whatever. When it comes to dresses, I have actually found so many, and I know I'm going to get judgment for this, I have found so many great pieces at Shein. The places I like to purchase my clothing now is primarily, I would say, Zara, Aritzia, Dynamite, sometimes Amazon, and Shein is the other big one. I'm looking and trying to think if there was anything else. So I used to shop a lot at Nordstrom Rack, and then Nordstrom Rack quit shipping to Canada. They moved out of Canada. We no longer have Nordstrom here, so that was really unfortunate because we don't really have any other good, affordable, like department stores. But the reason I started shopping at Shein is because, first of all, you guys, like I would love to say that I don't support that company. I would love to say that I would never shop there. And a couple years ago, if you would have asked me, I was a diehard, like I will not shop there. I thought their clothes were crap. I thought that they were really bad quality, which a lot of them still are, but some of them are not bad, believe it or not. If you look, and they do have a couple higher end lines. If you look on the website, believe it or not, they have some better quality lines in and of their mixed with all of their other stuff. But I was really against it. And the reason's because I don't really know the background of the company. I don't really know their ethics. I don't know how they source their items. I don't know how they treat the people in their factories. I've heard some things that are okay. I've heard some things that are not okay. And I think that it's a little bit conflicting, but I think in general, the idea about shopping at Shein is that it's not the best. And I agree. However, I also have to say, you guys, like, have you seen the price of food? Have you seen the price of electricity and gas and everything else? Like the cost of living has gone up like 30 to 40%, and I am not making 30 to 40% more money. So Shein has just been, not only that, but Shein has a lot of great styles and they have a really good shipping policy. They have really good return policy. The other thing was because I was just getting into dresses, and I was trying to figure out, like, I already had some dresses, but they were more special occasion dresses. They weren't the type of dress I would wear every single day. And so because I was trying to figure out, like, what would I be comfortable wearing at home? What would I be comfortable wearing for every single day? What am I comfortable in running errands? Like, I didn't know what colors, I didn't know what styles, I didn't know what cut, what fabric, what length, what neckline. And there was a lot that I still wanted to discover. I wanted to start wearing more florals. I wanted to start wearing more prints, which, as you guys know, if you watch my channel, a few months ago, I had almost no print in my wardrobe. Everything was neutral. So because of that, Shein has just been such a great resource because they have so many different styles and you can literally try like 20 items for super, super cheap. Figure out what you like. It's a really good way to figure out what colors flatter you, what necklines, what shape, what cut, what length, what everything. You know, whether you like a puff sleeve or whether you don't like a puff sleeve. It's a really easy, quick way to just try on a whole bunch of stuff and figure out what works for you. Send back what doesn't work, and then you have an idea going forward if you want to buy something more high-end. And for me, it was like, you know what, if I can get a dress, and honestly, even Shein's prices have gone up. Like Shein used to be so cheap. Their dresses that maybe would have been $15 or $20 are now like $25, $30. And frankly, not all of them are worth that. So I have been doing some looking around though. And like, I would say that most of the dresses I get from them, you guys, are decent quality. Like if you would have told me, H&M as well is the other place I like to shop from, which also is fast fashion and it's not the best quality, but again, inflation. So, you know, I honestly am not about to spend $200 on a dress when I have doubled my cost in groceries in the last year or so. Like it just is not in the budget for me to be spending all this money on dresses. So if I wanted to expand my dress wardrobe, if I wanted to have more pieces, if I wanted to have more dresses to wear on the day-to-day, I needed to find this option. If you would have told me a lot of these pieces were from Zara or H&M, I would have believed you. Like the quality is not that bad. It's actually pretty good in a lot of them. And a lot of people get up on their high horse and say like, oh, you know, I would never shop at Shein. But a lot of the fast fashion companies they do shop at are not much better. Like a lot of clothing companies are not much better. So yeah, that's my reasoning and my rationale behind doing some shopping at Shein. Eventually, hopefully the economy changes and hopefully things change a little bit. And by then, maybe I won't even need any more dresses, but it's been really nice to be able to try all of them on, figure out what works for me. I've discovered so much about myself that things I never thought I could wear, cuts and colors and fabrics that I never thought I could wear. And they've been working for me. And it has just made me feel so much better about myself. I feel, like I said, so much more feminine, so much more elegant. Like I feel more beautiful every single day for putting in more effort and for wearing dresses more often rather than just on special occasions. The other thing, a lot of people say they don't shop at Shein, but they buy a lot of stuff from Amazon. There's a lot of overlap between Shein and Amazon. You have to realize, because I have seen the exact same item on Amazon and then saw the exact same thing on Shein. Believe it or not, I've actually seen the exact same thing at Zara, you guys. The same thing at Zara, the same thing at Shein, and the only thing that was different was the price was a little cheaper at Shein. And I think that Amazon actually buys a lot of stuff from Shein and sells it as a third party and then makes a little bit of money you don't kid yourself is what I'm saying. Like if you're shopping at fast fashion, if you're shopping on Amazon, if you're shopping at H&M, if you're shopping at Forever 21, even Zara, it is not leaps and bounds better than Shein, I don't think. And that might be up for debate. But at the same time, like if you have a concern with that, then I welcome you to come to my house and buy my groceries for me. And then I will stop shopping at Shein. All right, the first item is a satin bustier style top. This is from Aritzia, one of my favorite places to get higher quality clothing. If I'm looking for like a cashmere sweater or a satin skirt, I do prefer to shop from Aritzia because there are just certain fabrics that are better quality. All the satin stuff I've ever gotten from Shein that I have tried, which I've only tried a couple, have not been very good quality. So this one I have only worn once. I like to style this with a maxi skirt for an evening out, like for going for dinner. Not my favorite garment, I will say. I have definitely moved more toward dresses. Overall, if you have to ask me, I prefer dresses over skirts any day. They're just so much easier. They're so much more put together. You don't have to think about it. It's a whole outfit in one without having to put too much thought into it. This one I can see eventually making it into a declutter pile, but for now it is really nice. This next item is a t-shirt. This I actually found from Winners or HomeSense. I do shop at Winners HomeSense sometimes, but I find it very few and far between that I actually find something I like there. I feel like it's always very picked through and I prefer to shop online. But this t-shirt is a little bit casual. It's a little bit more casual than what I like, but this one does work really nicely tucked into a pleated skirt, especially with a cardigan over top. It's a very simple, easy, slightly more modern take on a vintage look. This is another t-shirt very similar. This one is actually from Shein. Not bad quality, and actually the fit is quite nice. That's one thing I've noticed from Shein is their t-shirts are pretty decent. Some of them are better than others, but their t-shirt fabric is actually pretty decent. I feel like t-shirts are so cheap to make anyways, depending on where you source your material. Anyway, this one was really affordable. I want to say it was like $10 or less. And again, it says C'est la vie. Not that I was going for that particularly, I just liked it. And this one is a little bit more of an off-white, which flatters my color season better. This item here is a cashmere sweater. This is from Babaton. I got it from Aritzia. It's a little bit longer. This one works really well tucked in, or I can wear it just left out over top of like a plaid mini skirt, which since we're on the topic, I don't really wear a lot of mini skirts. I definitely prefer midi or maxi. I think they're more classy and more appropriate for my age, and they just make me feel more comfortable in general. Also, it's very windy where I live, and so the wind tends to blow up skirts, and so I just prefer wearing something that's longer to avoid that from happening. But this is a really, really good quality sweater. I would like to get more cashmere sweaters like this, but it's hard to find the perfect cut. But this one was a little bit more expensive, but it was really worth the money because I've gotten so much use out of it. It's the perfect color, really comfortable, really soft, and it goes with literally every single skirt in my wardrobe. This sweater is from Shein, believe it or not. And you guys, this sweater caught my eye and it was sold out like in my size for a long time, and it finally came back in, and it has gotten so many purchases and so many good reviews. It's actually better quality than I expected from Shein. It wasn't that expensive. I want to say it was like $25. Sorry, I'm out of breath. I just came upstairs from downstairs. But this sweater, if you guys get one thing in today's video, and this might not look like much, honestly, but it is so cute. It's really giving like cottage core / grandma core vibes, which I love. I feel like the grandma thing is trending, and that's not to sound disrespectful, obviously. It's just like the grandma sweater thing is really trending right now, and I absolutely love it. This is actually so flattering. I like to wear this tucked into a pleated skirt, particularly a flowy tulle or chiffon type of skirt. It just looks amazing. It's like cozy, it's comfortable, a little bit prairie, it's a little bit boho, it's, I don't know, a little bit vintage looking, a little retro, and it's just super cute. So I wasn't really sure when I ordered it how it was going to work out, and it turned out to be such a great sweater. So I haven't worn it yet, but I love it. So this is just a basic fine knit sweater from Mango. Oh, Mango is the other place I do like, but with Mango it's kind of hit and miss. And actually with Zara is kind of hit and miss as well, because they have a lot more like modern contemporary kind of styles, I find, and Zara can be a little bit more edgy. They have a few more like edgy looks, not so much traditional. So I think the reason I find so many good things on Shein is because Shein just caters to everybody. Like, they have something for everybody. And by the way, I'll put a list on the side of the screen and in the description, and I did this on Instagram as well, but if you're looking to find a style similar to what I have, type in like retro, vintage, grandma core, farmhouse, traditional housewife, tradwife, those kind of things. I'll put the whole list on the screen and I'll put it in the description. But if you type those kind of things in, and there's also a couple specific stores, like if you've ever shopped on Shein, they have particular stores. One of them is called Vint Amour, like vintage amour, so it's Vint Amour. The other one is Simple Retro. Those two have a lot of really adorable, think like Jane Austen style, like, or inspired kind of clothing pieces that are just so cute, and they definitely make me feel like I'm in a whole other time era. I have a couple more coming. If you guys want, I can do a whole like vintage inspired dress haul when they come, but I'm super excited. Anyway, this one's from Mango. This one was a little bit more affordable. I think it was like, I want to say it was like maybe $50. It's not cashmere. I think it's a blend, and it's just a really great basic shorter sweater that I like to pair actually on top of a lot of dresses because it is more of a cropped sweater. It's not as long as my other cashmere one. This one just looks really effortless, just sitting on top of any dress. So let's keep with the sweater theme and then we'll get into cardigans. So this is my last sweater that I currently have in my wardrobe. Sweaters and cardigans is an area that I want to expand just a little bit because like I said, it is such a outfit go-to for me. It's just a very easy go-to to throw on a skirt and throw on a sweater, tuck in the sweater, or if it's a cardigan, I leave it unbuttoned a little bit. Like I do up the top half of the buttons and I leave the bottom half undone, or I layer the cardigan over top of a t-shirt. And it's just like a very quick, easy outfit idea. But I absolutely love this one. For so long, I didn't think I could wear striped sweaters because the white was too harsh for me. I've talked about this in other videos, but I recently found out that my color season, I think, is in autumn. I think I'm a soft autumn. And so therefore, I look better in like an off-white, an ecru, a birch, a buttercream, an ivory, not so much the harsh, cool winter white. So now we get into cardigans. This one is from H&M. It looks a little bit boxy on the hanger, but it's actually not as boxy once you put it on. And this one is kind of like a boucle teddy material, and then it has like champagne buttons. I really like getting cardigans from H&M, especially in the fall and winter, because they have so many to choose from, and I really love this sort of boucle teddy type of material. This is definitely a little bit more for cooler days. It's a more warm cardigan, not so much a summer cardigan. I actually haven't worn it yet. It hasn't been cold enough for me to have to wear this yet. But like I said, one of my favorite looks is wearing a long pleated or A-line skirt or even a satin skirt, and then maybe just putting a t-shirt underneath and then having a cardigan over top. And I only do up the top couple of buttons and then I leave the bottom open to flow away. And what that does is it creates the illusion of almost an empire waist, where it makes your waist look a little higher and it makes your legs look much longer. I'll put a couple pictures on the screen of like what I'm talking about, but if you just look on Pinterest, like cardigan and skirt outfit, you'll see a lot of what I'm talking about. It's a very simple, easy look. It looks totally like so chic, and also it's very effortless at the same time. It looks a little bit more modern, and I just love the silhouette that it gives. In contrast, if you were to do up all the buttons, it would be fine too, but it would kind of take away from the emphasis of your waist. So your waist wouldn't be as emphasized. You would kind of be almost like straight up and down from top to bottom. And because I don't have a very like pronounced hourglass figure to begin with, I like something that flows away from the waist. And so leaving the bottom few buttons undone on your cardigan just gives the illusion of that look, and it's one of my favorite looks. I actually wear cardigans with my dresses all the time, and that's what I do. It's a very easy way to take it from summer to fall. You can literally wear any dress, even if it's a floral dress from summer, you can wear it with a cardigan like this, and it instantly makes it appropriate for fall. You just have to like change your shoes and you're good to go, which by the way, I'll do a shoe video as well. There's a couple areas in my shoe wardrobe that are not prepared for this lifestyle because I pretty much always went from sandals, and then for the winter I went straight to like UGG style boots, right? Which isn't, I mean, you can still do it, but it's not going to be perfect for every day when I want to feel elegant and more chic. But that's a topic for another video. You can definitely still do like a shorter UGG boot and like a satin skirt and a cardigan that looks really nice. But I just wanted a couple more feminine pieces like Mary Jane's ballet flats, things like that. I said I was going to keep this concise, and I'm not keeping it concise. So this is another cardigan that I got from H&M. This one is in a size extra small. By the way, most of the things I get are in an extra small. The only exception would be with Shein. I get everything in a small, and I will put my measurements in the description box, my height, and I'll put my sizes for things you might have already tried on yourself, like Lululemons or something like that, things from Aritzia, just so that you can compare. But I find with H&M, an extra small in their tops is usually the best for me. This one is a little bit darker than what I would usually wear. You'll probably notice that most of my other cardigans are lighter color. But because I recently discovered I'm in an autumn palette, the browns and tans and camels actually work really good for me. I never used to think that they did, but now that I've given them a chance, I've realized that they do. And I like to wear this one again, just with the top couple of buttons done up, or this one in particular, I just sometimes like to leave it open, and it looks great paired over top of any of my like warmer palette dresses. All All right, so this doesn't look like much on the hanger, you guys, but I just wanted to give you an example with that recent the cardigan I just talked about. So this is the brown cardigan paired over top of one of my dresses that's in a warmer like autumn palette. So you can see that the colors go together really well. They're very cohesive. And when I actually have this on, it does flow away from the waist a little bit more. It's an A-line dress. And then again, I either leave it completely unbuttoned or I do up the top couple buttons, and it creates a really nice feminine silhouette. It's just a very effortless, pretty warm outfit, to be honest. You can pair this with a pair of like sandals if it's a warmer fall day. You can wear it with sneakers. You can wear it with a pair of Mary Janes or ballet flats. You could wear it with sneakers. Did I say sneakers? You could wear it with really anything you want that fits you and your style. But it's just such an easy fall go-to outfit. This is pretty much what I live in, not this exact one, but a dress with a cardigan in fall. That's like my daily go-to, and I get compliments. I feel really good. I feel like I put in some effort. I'm nice and warm. And then if it's a cooler day, I'll wear on top of it like a wool blend coat or a trench coat or something like that. Okay, this cardigan is also from H&M. This is the only one that sometimes I'm like, I don't really know if this was my best choice. I really liked it the day that I tried it on in store, but this one is a little bit more preppy, kind of old money, modern looking. It's not as vintage retro as the rest of my wardrobe, so it kind of maybe looks a little bit off with some of my dresses, but this one also looks maybe a little bit more businessy and maybe like something you could wear to the office or a parent-teacher interview or something where you have to be like a little bit more put together. All right, this one here again is from H&M, extra small. This is more of that boucle type of fabric. It's a little bit more structured and it's a thicker material. Again, it does flow away slightly around your hips, and I like that it has like the four buttoned pockets. And this one definitely is more of a dressy jacket. This one looks so elegant and so chic, and it's nice and warm. It goes with all of my skirts. This was such a good purchase, I think, for those days that I just need to look a little bit more professional, maybe like if I have a meeting at work or something. So I haven't worn this yet, but I think that the best way that I would wear this, I just haven't gone there yet. I think maybe it just hasn't been cold enough, and I just have been finding that I really like my more cozy wool blend cardigans. I'm finding that I just go for them more often. I think they're just more comfortable, but if I want to feel more put together, if I want to look more professional or more put together, this is one that I would reach for. I think this would look great over top of like a black maxi satin skirt. This cardigan is a little bit longer. This one's very cozy. This I got from someplace at the mall. I can't remember what store it was. The brand is Clio. I want to say I got it from Susie Shear or Ricky's or something like that, and this is in an extra small petite, and it is like a gray melange. It's kind of like a neutral gray, and this one does have a champagne gold or a champagne silver button. So I really like this one. Haven't worn it yet. Super cozy. One that I definitely want to give more attention to, but like I told you guys, I did realize I am definitely more in a autumn palette, and a lot of the dresses I have are warmer colors, and because this has a little more coolness in it, because it is gray, it does tend to go with fewer of my dresses. I could still make it work, but this one's just a little bit harder to style, and that's why I've been talking a lot about color season, because once you know what your color season is and you know what your best colors are, it makes it a lot more foolproof when you're shopping. All right, this one is actually from Aritzia. This is one of their Sunday best cardigans. I got this, I want to say like at least a year ago, maybe a year and a half, and this one gives me bookstore vibes. This actually, I wore this to a bookstore. So this one makes me think of like pumpkin spice latte going to a Chapters Indigo. If you guys don't know what that is, it's like the Canadian version of Barnes & Noble. Do you guys have Chapters in the US? I feel like maybe you do. But anyway, by the way, that's one of my favorite ways to spend my day is to get a coffee and walk around a bookstore. Not much brings me more happiness. I love books so much. Like I said, I don't have anywhere to keep them in my home, but I still aspire to have a home library one day. I still want an entire section of my house one day dedicated to just books and a cozy reading chair and candles and old lamps and vintage leather-bound things and area rugs that are distressed and dirty and smelly. This one gives me cozy, raining, fall, leaves on the ground, bookstore, kind of Rory Gilmore, but not so much, more like just me at the bookstore vibes. I absolutely love this sweater. It's cozy. This one's a little bit more casual. It's kind of oversized. I really, really like it. I haven't worn it again yet. you guys, I wish I would have known when I bought it that it was an autumn or a soft spring color season, because again, this one is cooler. It is the coolest gray cardigan that I have. It is my only other gray cardigan, and I think that's why I don't wear it as much, is because it doesn't go with a lot of my fall palette dresses. This cardigan is from Zara, and this is the one that I was telling you guys that I found the exact same one on Shein, like exactly the same buttons, exactly the same cut and everything. I didn't order it. I'm wondering if I should, because I kind of want to compare and see if maybe Zara is hoodwinking us. I wonder if they're exactly the same thing, but Shein sells theirs for $10 less than Zara. You know what I mean? Like, this wasn't very expensive, but you can get this exact same sweater right now on Shein. It is there. I saw it. And I'm curious to know if it's the same quality, because this one's decent quality. However, I will say I put it through the wash once, and I do feel like it shrunk just a little. Even though I followed the instructions, I feel like it still did shrink just a touch, which I'm a little bit annoyed about. But this is a great great cardigan. This is probably my most worn cardigan. If you guys follow me on Instagram, you've seen me wear it a lot. Such a good investment. I'm so glad that I purchased it. And this is my last cardigan. This one's also from Zara. Admittedly, this is my least worn cardigan. This one's a little bit warmer. It's more appropriate for winter. It is like an alpaca, like wool blend, and it kind of hangs a little funny on the hanger. It's very heavy and it's very warm. This one does look really nice over top of like a pleated skirt with maybe a t-shirt underneath. I'm not crazy about the cut. I do like a v-neck, but for some reason this one's like a stranger, it's like a stranger v-neck cut. It's not my favorite. I prefer the style of the sweater previous, and I also prefer the material. This one loses hairs all over the place too, like the little hairs always come off, but it's okay. I wouldn't repurchase this one, honestly. All right, now we are into skirts, and this one, most of them are from Aritzia. This one's from Aritzia. This is their, can't remember the name of it, but it's their, I think it's just their satin midi skirt, and this is in, I think, the color champagne, I want to say. I don't believe this is the birch. It's in the color champagne, and I have gotten a ton of use out of this skirt, and it's one of my favorite pieces. Something like this goes great with a sweater. It goes great with a cardigan with a couple buttons just left undone on top, because it is more of a high waist. And so even if you're looking for something like a little bit more airy, you can just show like a tiny bit of your abdomen. I don't like showing a lot of my abdomen, and I definitely don't want my belly button exposed, but it kind of looks really chic when you just wear like a really nice like triangle bralette, a cardigan with most of the buttons done up, the last couple left undone. So here is an example. Mind the clutches behind the cardigan, but you can see how nice this would look together just with the bottom couple of buttons left undone. It's definitely like a Pinterest worthy outfit, and it's so easy, and it just makes you look so incredibly put together without really even trying. So yeah, if you're going to get a satin skirt, I really recommend the satin skirts at Aritzia. I am a size 4 or a size small there, just for your information. However, I'm verging on a 2. I've lost a little bit of weight since I got my dog because I walk so much now, and so I'm like 115 pounds, 5'2". So if you are the same size as me, you might either be a 2 or a 4. So this is the exact same skirt, but this is the maxi length. This is a size 4 from Babaton from Aritzia, and this is their satin maxi skirt, and it's in the color black. I don't have a lot of black anything because I didn't realize this, but I wish I would have known this again before I purchased this, which this was like a couple months ago. Black is in the winter palette, so I'm just going to touch on that really quickly. Everyone thinks black is a universal color and that black looks good on everyone, and that is such a myth. Actually, only a very small percentage of people look good in black and can pull it off. People think that they can because everyone thinks black is just universal, right? So they think, oh, well, I look good in this because black looks good on everyone. But actually, black is a very cool, very dark, very intense color, obviously. It is the darkest and it is the coolest out of everything. The only people who truly look great in black are the people who are in the winter color season, and I am not. In fact, black, navy blue, maroon, purple, all those colors are too cool for me and way too dark. They wash me out. They make me look sick. So I can still wear black provided it's further away from my face. So a skirt is okay, but I won't be having, like, you guys won't see me have black dresses, black sweaters, black cardigans. You just won't see that in my wardrobe. This is another satin skirt. This one is from Zara, and again, you can definitely tell a difference in the satin from Zara versus the satin from Aritzia. The satin from Aritzia is just better quality. It just is. It feels more high-end. It's thicker. It feels more luxurious, and you can really feel a difference. This one's okay. It's a size small. This is in the one good thing about this is it is in my color season. This is obviously in either a soft spring or a soft autumn. And it is a brown satin midi skirt. This one I haven't worn. I need to. I think the thing about satin is satin instantly looks more dressed up. So if you want to look more polished, you would trade out like your pleated skirt for a satin and you instantly just look that much more polished. This is one of those like puffy balloon skirts. I got this from Zara as well. Yes, sorry, I just checked. This is from Zara. This is an extra small, and this one is like a midi to a maxi length, and it kind of poofs out at the bottom. It's got that like balloon material, and it's kind of like a linen blend, and I really, really love this. I think it is such a great style. Like, I have loved this style of skirt since I first saw them come out, which I don't know if they existed before, but I only saw them online starting this past summer. This looks great with sweaters. It looks great with t-shirts. Such an effortless look. And this is also a really great transition piece because you can wear a skirt like this with like a camel colored cardigan, for example, and it instantly takes it from summer to fall. All right, this skirt is so much fun, you guys. This is one of these kind of chiffon / tulle skirts. It's a very flowy, ruffly skirt that has kind of fairy vibes, and I love it. You can get these everywhere. You can get them from Chic Wish, which is a great place to shop. I really love Chic Wish for like retro vintage type clothing. The only thing about Chic Wish to know is that the returns are a little bit more of a hassle, but you can get these from Chic Wish, you can get them from Amazon, you can get them from Shein. I want to say I got this from Amazon, but yeah, these are everywhere. You just have to look up like ruffly flowy tulle skirt or ruffly flowy ballet skirt or something like that, and they will come up. And I absolutely love this color. Such a perfect color. This looks super cute with all of my sweaters, all of my cardigans, even the grandma sweater that I showed you before that had like the ruffles on it. You can't have too many ruffles, I don't think. Like, if you're asking me, you can't. It also really gives princess vibes. It kind of gives like Sarah Jessica Parker Sex and the City vibes, except it's a little bit longer. This is another very similar skirt. It's in a cream color, and this is from Shein, and this is from specifically the brand Daisy on Shein, which is spelled D-A-Z-Y. If you're looking for this kind of vibe, this sort of like elegant retro vibe, look up the brand D-A-Z-Y or Simple Retro or Vintamore on Shein, and that's where you're going to find a lot of these more vintagey looking things. This is a satin pleated skirt. This one's from Dynamite. This is in a little bit more of a cool toned, almost like a cool toned champagne. I do like it. I've worn it quite a bit. I get a lot of compliments on it, but I haven't worn it since this past winter, but I will wear it again this winter coming up. This is a really nice one that looks a little bit more polished because it is that satin material. Okay, now we have a plaid mini skirt, and this is from Aritzia, and I do not wear mini skirts pretty much ever. It's definitely just a different style. It's a little bit more preppy, a little bit more schoolgirl. It's a little bit more youthful. However, I have to say I do like the way it looks with like a longer cashmere sweater, like the one I have from Babaton, just left tucked out. So it kind of creates the illusion of like a dropped waist dress. And then with this skirt, I would only ever wear it with either a pair of knee-high boots or with black tights, and then with some like Mary Janes or something. I don't like exposing that much leg usually, and even though this is considered like a fall item, it's not that warm, so it's just not something I gravitate toward very often. This skirt is also a mini skirt. This is a little bit more of a boucle type of fabric, and this is a size 4, I want to say, and I haven't worn this one yet either. I feel like this one would be good again with either a looser fitting cashmere wool blend sweater just left untucked with a pair of knee-high boots, or again some tights and a pair of Mary Jane. This skirt is super cute. I have had it forever. This is a pleated skirt that hits just below the knee, or maybe just above the knee. Sorry, I think it hits just above the knee, and this is kind of a blush pink color. I've had this forever. If you guys follow me on Instagram, you've seen me wear this in a lot of outfits of the day that I've posted. I used to wear it with a long sleeve t-shirt tucked in, but now I think I would pair it with one of my cardigans. And I haven't worn it this fall, and I actually haven't worn it in like quite a while. So I'm gonna have to try that out and wear it with a cardigan and see how that looks. The only problem, like I say, it's pretty windy where I live, and I don't want my skirt blowing up, and so it would be more of a cumbersome thing, but I can still see myself wearing this if I go down south. This is another satin skirt from Aritzia, size 4. It's a little bit smaller. This is considered their mini length. However, this does hit at the knee, so it isn't a true mini skirt. And this is in, I want to say like blush pink or something like that. I don't know if they have this color available anymore, but I have gotten so much use out of this skirt. It remains to be seen whether I will get use out of it going forward, because I prefer maxi skirts and I prefer dresses, so I just don't reach for this very often at all, but I might wear it still for going out purposes, and I should try styling it with like my cardigans and stuff and just see how I feel. I just feel like mini skirts are just not really my vibe as much anymore. This skirt is from Wilfred from Aritzia. It is a midi satin skirt with a high slit on the side, and it also has a little tie on the side, and it does up with a zipper. So there is no elasticized waistband here, and this is a size 4 or a small, I can't remember which. And this one was already a little big when I first got it. So I feel like it's probably going to be hanging a little bit looser on my hips now. But this one does have a subtle A-line to it, so I can see myself still wearing this, you know, for evenings out, and maybe pair it with like a corset style top or something like that. This skirt here I think is from Mango. Or no, sorry, this one's from Zara, and this is a mixed media skirt. So it's like a cotton blend. It's a knit blend skirt, so it's a very warm, thicker material. It's almost like a sweater material. Really good for the winter. This is definitely an example of something you could wear in the winter time. And then it's also got the little ruffle detail at the bottom, which is more of a chiffon fabric. So I really like that it has a mixed media. As you can see, it's still A-line. Love the color. Goes great with everything in my wardrobe. And this is a really easy way to be able to wear a skirt in the wintertime, because all you have to do is pair it with a knee-high boot and a nice sweater and an overcoat, and you would just look very polished and put together but still stay nice and warm. This is the Wilfred Twirl pleated skirt from Aritzia, and this is a size small. It is just a touch big on me, I think because I have worn it so much, so the elastic on the waist has already had an opportunity to stretch out a little bit, but then, like I said, I also lost a couple pounds since getting my dog. But this is one of my most worn skirts, hands down. I have worn this so much. It looks great with a bodysuit. It looks great with a long sleeve t-shirt tucked in. It looks great with a more boxy cut, shorter sleeve t-shirt. Looks great with a cardigan. I mean, you just cannot go wrong. Again, if you get one thing from today's video, let it be a midi to a maxi pleated skirt like this, and I prefer these ones from Aritzia because they are such good quality. The Wilfred pleated skirts are a little bit more expensive. They're about $150 Canadian, but they're worth it because they hold up well over time. So now we're going to do dresses. We're all done the skirts and the tops, and I'm going to try to fly through the dresses a little bit faster because my battery is getting a little drained, and also this video is already quite long. So this is a dress that I found from Shein, and this is from the Enchant line. So there is a line at Shein called, I believe it's called Enchant. And they make sort of these more whimsical, flowy kind of pieces. So it's bordering on like a boho chic, but it's also giving like fairy princess vibes. It's a tulle chiffon kind of blend. This one I don't like wearing by itself. The top isn't as flattering on me. But this one looks fantastic with a cardigan or just with a kind of a cropped knit sweater. This next dress is I believe it's a midi length. Yes, this is the midi length satin dress from Aritzia. Again, I think it's a size 4, and this is in a, I think it's in the birch color, so it's kind of like an off-white. This one is beautiful just for going out for dinner or something. It's a very classy dress and makes me feel very feminine and very elegant. And if you wanted to wear it for daytime, you could easily make it daytime just by wearing it with a sweater or a cardigan. This dress is also from Aritzia. You can tell that I used to love shopping at Aritzia, and this is kind of a paisley print spaghetti strap with a little bit of ruching detail around the bust. It does up with a zipper, and this is a maxi length. I don't have a ton of maxi dresses. My preferred length is a midi because I'm pretty short. I'm only 5'2", so I don't like when things overwhelm my figure, and it's very easy for things to overwhelm my figure, but this one is actually super nice. I did try it on a couple times. I haven't worn it in quite a long time, but I tried it on a couple times just to make sure that I still do like how it fits, and I do. These are two kind of paisley print floral dresses. They are the exact same dress. I got them from Shein, and these ones are really nice for the summer. The one on the left, as you can see, is more of a warm palette, and the one on the right is more of a cool palette. I liked both of them, and even though I have figured out that I'm pretty sure I'm in autumn or a spring color season, I can still pull from other seasons provided that they're close enough to being neutral or that they're not too intense with the color. So even though the one on the right is white and has more of a pink kind of overall feel to it, and the one on the left is yellow, I can still pull off the one on the right because it is light enough and subtle enough in the color. But truth be told, the one on the left does work better with my features. But I like that they both have a very subtle body hugging, like figure flattering silhouette to them. They both have a sweetheart neckline and a ruffle strap, and they both do up with a zipper as well. So just really feminine and really, really nice for the summertime, and I cannot wait to wear them in the summer. And these also both look nice with a cardigan done up as well. If you want to make them more fall appropriate, you could just wear a cardigan and only do up again the top 2 or 3 buttons and leave the bottom part open. Because you wouldn't see the top part of the dress, you wouldn't see that it's exposing more skin and looks more summer appropriate. So it instantly makes it more appropriate for the fall. This dress is also from Shein, and this one is a little bit different. It's kind of like, it looks almost a little bit more Victorian. It kind of reminds me a little bit of like a haunted house movie with Nicole Kidman, something she would have worn in a movie placed in maybe the late 1800s or something. I don't know. It looks kind of like ghostly to me in a sense, but I like it. I like that it has this really subtle print on it. I like that it's cream. It actually has a slip underneath and then sort of the lace part over top. And this is just very feminine, very elegant. It's very flowy, probably more appropriate for the summertime, but also you could definitely wear this in the fall and throw a cardigan on over top as well. These dresses I have shared in previous videos. These are the type of dress that I was really inspired to wear when I was watching some of the tradwife or like Christian homemaker type of videos, because these are the type of dresses that the girls would wear. And honestly, they don't look like much on the hanger, and they look like, especially the beige one, sort of almost looks like a little bit like paper bag. Sort of like, to me, it looks a little homely when I see it just on the hanger. Even on the website, I was like, these are both from Shein, by the way, and on the website, I thought they kind of look a little homely, don't really look like something I'm gonna like. But my advice to you would be do the same thing I did if you were looking for dresses. Just order a whole bunch of different colors, cuts, shapes, styles, silhouette, lengths, different sleeve types, different necklines, different waistlines, different little details like polka dots or lace or ruffles or whatever, and just see, because you never know what will flatter you. And these dresses are actually 2 of my most worn dresses. They're comfortable, they're lightweight, they're flowy. I get compliments in them. They're extremely easy to put on. Again, both of them you can just throw a cardigan over top and they're perfect for fall. And I have worn probably the tan one more than any other dress right now. I've also had that one the longest, but it's one of my easiest reach dresses because it's perfect to wear just for if you're doing errands and hanging around the home and cooking and cleaning. Makes you feel like you've put yourself together, but it's also really great to throw on to go out and do errands and shopping and whatever else that you have to do. So I really, really like these. If you guys are interested, they have these on the Shein website in like 5 or 6 colors. A lot of these dresses do come in 5 or 6 colors. So if you're not into the beige or the apricot color or the pink, they also have like black, green, red, blue. They have a whole bunch, but I tried to get ones that would be the most flattering on my skin tone. All right, we're gonna try to do 2 dresses at once now to make this go a little faster because this video is already so long and I'm trying to not make it last forever. So the one on the left is a pink dress with a flounce sleeve. Both of these are from Shein. The one on the left, honestly, I really like it. It's a very good silhouette and it flatters my body. I wish that it was just a slightly warmer shade of pink. It is a little bit more on the cool side. And the other thing is too, I'm gonna have to get some sort of a slip to wear underneath it because it is just a little too sheer. The fabric is a little too sheer and it's not lined. So the dress itself was like maybe $17 or something. So you do get what you pay for. It's maybe not the best quality, but it's quite flattering and quite pretty, very feminine. It's like my ideal summer dress. The one on the right is a little bit thicker material. It's almost like this lacy kind of, almost like a jacquard kind of fabric. And it's got brown buttons going all the way up and down. I don't have them all done up, so that's why it looks a little weird. This one I shared in an outfit of the day not too long ago on my Instagram, and a lot of people wrote me and asked me where I had gotten it from. And the one on the right I think is just a little bit more elegant, sophisticated, maybe even a little bit more expensive looking compared to the one on the right. Okay, these 2 dresses are quite different. So first of all, both from Shein. Again, like I said, I've been finding a lot of great dresses from Shein. The one on the left is a little bit more in my color palette. It's an A-line dress, cinches in at the waist and has more of a flowy sleeve, and it does have a crew neck. And this one is a midi to a maxi length on me. One of my favorite dresses, feels better quality and looks higher quality than it is. I get so many compliments on it. If you would have told me this was from like Ricky's or RW & Co or Susie Shear, I would have believed you. The one on the right is a little bit maybe lower quality, and sorry, the sleeve is a little bit bunched up there. And it is a black and white polka dot dress. It's a little bit more figure hugging. Not the greatest quality, but I really like that dress. It's very retro. It's kind of like retro school teacher outfit. It's got a crew neck, bit of a ruffly poof sleeve. And this one really, really makes me feel like I'm back in the 50s. I like to do my hair in more tight curls when I wear this one, just because it kind of goes with the vibes. However, I will say that the one on the right is not the best for my color palette, this one here, because this one is in a winter palette and this one is in an autumn or spring palette, as you can see. And the reason that you can tell that is because the polka dot one is a cool white with black. So both of those colors fall in the winter palette, and the one on the left is warmer and softer and falls in the autumn. So, okay, here we have two green dresses with a small paisley floral print. Again, you guys, can you see the difference between the color season? The one on the left is a warmer green, meaning it has more yellow in it, and the floral print on it is actually more of an off-white to a cream color. The one on the right is more of a cool green. It has more blue in it, and the flowers are white, like they're a cool white. So the one on the right, this one here, again, not really in my color season. It does look okay on me because I am brunette and I do have brown eyes, but my eyes are also a little bit hazel. So I kind of fall just on the cusp. Like I said, I can pull off some colors from other color seasons, and that one looks okay. It wouldn't be my absolute first choice. I think that the green on the left does flatter my skin and hair and eyes a little bit better, but both are good. And green is one of my best colors. I have to say that if there's a color that I do very, very well, it's green. I think because there is more yellow to it, so it's kind of neutral in a sense. Green is like almost a perfect neutral, because if you think about it, green is blue and yellow is your warmest color and blue is your coolest color. And so when you combine blue and yellow, it's more neutral. So I feel like that's why green of all different types work for me. These two dresses here are so great. I like them both. Again, you can see the one on the left is a warm palette and the one on the right is a cool palette, which I didn't intend. That's just the way it worked. And again, I can pull off white. I do look better in more of an off-white. The one on the right here isn't really a super stark cool white. This video isn't supposed to be about colors, but I like to comment on it. But anyway, both of them are really great. I really love the one on the left, the one that's more of that buttercream color. It's a little bit closer fitting up top, but it's not tight. It has a slightly looser fitting sleeve. It's got like the popcorn detail on it. It's got a little tie around the waist. It's a midi length and it's an A-line, and it is the most elegant, perfect silhouette for me ever. I love it so much, and it looks amazing with a cardigan over top. The one on the right is a little bit more, I would say, polished looking. It's got the pleats on the bottom, it's got the lace on the top. I don't know what it's duping. It does have kind of a star pattern in the lace, and so I don't know if it's duping something higher end that maybe has a star as one of its symbols, like maybe, I don't know what brands have like stars, but I feel like they definitely were trying to dupe something. So at first I was like, I don't know if I like the stars, but then I thought, as Shein usually does, it probably is a dupe of something higher end. Here we have two quite different dresses. So the one on the right we'll start with is a apricot beige and white gingham print with a poofy sleeve and a smocked bodice, and then it's A-line flowing away, and it's a midi to a maxi length. Has a tie over the back and a zipper as well. It is such a great like prairie girl vibe dress. I absolutely love it. It looks like a paper bag again sitting on the hanger, but it is actually so flattering. And when I first saw this dress, I wanted it in a blue print. I'm really glad that I got it in the beige, because again, blue is not in my color season, but I didn't know that when I ordered this. And I'm so glad I went with the beige and not with the blue. I don't know what possessed me, because previous me would have seen beige and thought, oh, I don't want a beige dress, like that's not going to work. But actually the beige and the cream or the apricot works so well with my skin tone, so I absolutely love it. The one on the left is a pink floral. However, it's more of a warm pink floral. I don't know if you can tell, but the background on the dress is not white. It is again like a beige off-white, and so that makes the whole dress feel a little bit warmer. Had the background been white and then had all of the pink flowers and like the paisley print on top of the white, it probably would have been too cool for me to wear. There would have just been too much blue undertone, but this one really, really works for me. Looks very cohesive with my palette. It looks like a watercolor painting, meaning everything flows from top to bottom and looks like it's supposed to be there. It's It's a little bit closer to the body. It is smocked from head to toe. It has a poofy sleeve. You can wear the sleeves off the shoulder or on the shoulder. The one, actually both of these are from Amazon. The one on the right was actually $70, you guys. Like, it was a little bit more expensive. I don't know the brand. It just came from Amazon and that's all I know. I don't even think there's a tag. Actually, that one might be from Pretty Garden. No, this one, sorry. The pink one is from Pretty Garden, which if you're looking for a good Amazon brand for like vintage inspired clothing or retro clothing, check out Pretty Garden or Allegra K or Dress Tells. I will put all three of them on the screen. Dress Tells, Allegra K, or Pretty Garden. Those are your Amazon vintage retro companies. And then this one, I'm not sure what the brand was, but also the gingham one took quite a while to get to me. The one on the left came pretty quickly in Canada. So both are great. The one on the left is more like I'd probably wear that one out to brunch or something like that. It's a little bit more dressy, not something I would put on for everyday running errands. Okay, both of these dresses I really, really like. They are a flowier dress. They're a very similar style. They both have cuffs like at the end of the arms. I don't know. Yeah. Cuffs, I guess, cuffed sleeves. They both cinch in at the waist. They both have a deep V or a V, not a super deep V, but a V. And then they both flow away and they're both florals. The one on the right is a little bit shorter. That one is more of a midi. The one on the left is a little bit more of a maxi. And both of them are more of a muted, warmer print. So you can see the one on the right, the green one, has a little bit of bluish green to it, but it still is fairly muted, and I would say it's fairly warm, and that one looks really, really good on me. It's very sophisticated. It does show a little bit of cleavage, but the rest of the dress is so conservative that it really works. And that's kind of what I like with my dresses. I like to balance it out so that you've got a little bit of skin showing, like whether it's from the knee down your leg or your shoulders or your décolletage, or maybe a tiny bit of cleavage, nothing too crazy. I don't like to show a lot of cleavage unless maybe I'm going out for a date and then with my boyfriend I can wear something a little more showy. But yeah, just for day to day. But it is such a classy dress and I get so many compliments on it, and it's a very respectable looking dress. The one on the left, the more pinky print, that one's more of like a pinky brown. It doesn't show as much cleavage as the other one. It does show a little bit of décolletage. It's also a lot, it covers a lot more because it is a longer dress in general, but it is just so ridiculously classy. Like, it doesn't, again, these don't look like much on the hanger, you guys, but when you put them on, they're just so timeless and elegant looking. All right, these two dresses are again just very feminine summer dresses. Both are florals. The one on the left is a peachy one that has a red flower print with some green leaves, smocked bodice, flows away from the waist. It's a midi dress and has a bit of a poofy sleeve. That one's from H&M. It's not, I don't know if I said, but the previous two were from Shein, by the way. So the H&M one is not my favorite. Something about it, it's not the best color palette on me, but it's still a very easy dress to throw on for the summer. I've gotten compliments. It's extremely comfortable. It's just like an easy, everyday, warm weather dress. The one on the right is from Hollister. Hollister and Boohoo actually, but Hollister is another great place to get decent quality dresses, especially if you can get them on sale. I forgot to mention earlier that I also like to shop at Boohoo, Fashion Nova, and Hollister. All right, these two dresses are a couple of my favorite actually. So we'll start with the one on the right, which is the white dress with the little bit of a peachy pink floral print. It has a bit of a poof sleeve, crew neck, smocked bodice, midi length, ruffle detail at the bottom, and it hits in an A-line about mid-calf. That dress was one of the very first summer dresses I got. I got it from Susie Shear when it was on sale. They were having an end-of-year summer sale on their dresses, which was a great time to get into dresses because I got some really great deals. And I've gotten so many compliments. I've worn this dress like 2 or 3 times at least, which actually says a lot because I have a lot of dresses at the moment. And it's just very like traditionally feminine. It's not too much. It doesn't show much skin. It's very conservative. It looks really nice, and yeah, just so many compliments. And even though the white in it is a little bit on the cooler side, I can still make it work because it's not a stark, super cool white. And again, you guys, I never would have thought that like a 3/4 length or a 1/4 length sleeve would have been flattering on me. I never would have gone for this kind of dress. It just speaks to how you have to order a few different types to try them on. So if you're just starting, order yourself like 15 Shein dresses. They're cheap. You can return what you don't like. They've got a great policy. And just to try them on, you can even return all of them if you want. Just try them on, see what you think, because I'm sure you will shock yourself with what you can get away with, because I know I did. The one on the left, again, kind of doesn't look like much, right? It kind of looks like a paper bag. with polka dots. And then it's got a round neckline. It cinches in at the waist. It doesn't have any zippers or anything. It's just a pull over your head, and then flows away, and it's a midi length. This is probably one of my most complimented dresses. I wore it the other day for the first time actually, and I got so many compliments, and I just felt great in it. It is so, like, if you guys want to see it, I posted a picture on my Instagram, but it is so intrinsically feminine. Like, it just has this retro vibe about it because it's got the polka dots, because it's got the A-line. It also has some really cute little ties. I don't know if you guys can see at the bottom of the sleeves. It just has this like traditional feminine, like housewife / elegant woman, familiar vibe to it that you just don't see a lot of women wearing dresses like this these days. A lot of people are wearing things that are a little bit more modern, or they're just not dressing up at all, right? Unless they're going to work. And when I tell you, and not that I'm looking for attention from men, because I'm not in a very happy relationship, committed relationship, but it is incredible how people respond to you when you wear things like this. And I got so many glances when I was wearing this dress, and I got a lot of like what I would call positive attention, like people smiling at you, people offering to hold the door, people offering to help me with parcels, things like that, and just people like checking me out essentially, because I was wearing this really nice dress with a pair of beige heels and had my hair curled, and I just felt like $1,000,000. So this is a great one. It is still available on the website. They also have it in about 4 or 5 other colors, and I'm tempted to get it in red. And this one is from Shein, if I didn't mention it. These two dresses I wanted to share at the same time because they're both green, but they're quite different. If I have to say, I probably prefer the one on the right better. This one here, they're both green dresses. The one on the right is more of a sage green. It has maybe a slightly cooler undertone. The one on the left definitely looks like it has more yellow in it, and it is a V-neck dress. They both have the same sort of slightly poofy, ruffly sleeve. They both have a paisley floral print. The one on the left, the more yellow-green one, is actually a wrap, like not just a faux wrap, but it's an actual real wrap. It's very classy and very elegant, but it does show quite a bit of cleavage. So it's a dress that I wouldn't wear every single day or feel super, super comfortable in. Or if I did wear it, I'd have to tie it a little bit tighter. And you can adjust the wrap, so you can adjust like how much cleavage you show. The one on the right, however, I absolutely love, and I have worn it probably 2 or 3 times. Yeah, at least 2 or 3 times. And it's a favorite. It flatters my features so well. I love that it has a crew neck. I love that it's just a very simple smocked style, does up with a zipper. Very comfortable. I don't know if they have it on the website or not, but it's one of my most complimented and one of my most easily gravitated toward. Also looks fantastic with any of my cream colored cardigans. So it's a very easy summer or fall look. Okay, these two dresses are night and day, very different, besides the fact that they're both green. Let's start with the one on the left. The one on the left is from Shein. It is more of a cool undertoned green. It's almost like a winter green color. It does have a strap, like a sash to go around the waist, which is detachable. Very classy, elegant dress. This one is almost a little too dark and a little too cool for me, for my features. It definitely falls closer into a winter color palette, I would say. But again, because it's green, it still seems to work. It does seem to fall more into a winter color palette, but again, because I can wear green, and green seems to be like a really good, fairly neutral color for me, even the ones that are a little bit more cool, I can still wear them, because like I said, it's kind of that perfect neutral, because it's a mix between just enough yellow and just enough blue that it's not that cool, you know? And then on the right, we have more of a warm green, definitely more of a warm based. Truth be told, the one on the right flatters my features a little bit better. It's also a little bit softer, less intense, and it doesn't look like much on the hanger. I'm going to have to find a picture on the website and post it. The one on the left is from Shein, by the way. The one on the right is from Boohoo. Boohoo is a great place to get dresses, especially if you catch sales. They just had a 50% off everything sale, so this dress was literally like, I think it was regular $100 or $120, and I got it for like $40 or $50. All right, these two dresses are both from Boohoo. They're brand new. I have not worn them. They're both kind of that milkmaid style. The one on the left has just the little skinny strap, and it has almost a little bit of a, it's not a dropped waist, but it kind of gives that illusion because they both kind of dip in a little bit in the waist and then flow away. So they have that like milkmaid vibe to them. Really good quality. That's something I love about Boohoo, is they are better quality. The one on the right has the poof sleeve and the more sweetheart neckline, and definitely more of that prairie girl milkmaid kind of silhouette. I like them both. The one on the left that shows a little bit more skin, that shows your shoulders and your arms. First of all, I have to say that's not my favorite silhouette because I don't like showing a ton of skin to begin with, and I also get cold. Even if there's a small breeze, I get cold, so I'm not a huge fan of showing a lot of skin. The one on the right shows less skin, so I'd be more likely to put that on for a summer day. They're both really, really nice. They both do lean a little on the sexier side, I would say, so not something I'd feel comfortable throwing on every single day. All right, these two dresses, again, very different. The one on the left was a winter's find from a couple years ago. It's just a basic halter that hits just below the knee. That one, again, I like to wear it with a cardigan or a sweater because I don't like my arms to be too bare. I get a little bit cold, even in the summertime. Every place you go has air conditioning. The one on the left is also a little bit more of that cool white, as you can see, whereas the one on the right is more of that buttercream color. I prefer the one on the right in terms of the color palette. The one on the right was from Aritzia. It is a size small. It's from Wilfred, and it is like a faux wrap maxi dress that hugs a little bit closer to the body and has a cap sleeve and a round neck, and it's just a pull-on. Very casual fabric. It's like a jersey fabric, but the silhouette and the cut and the style is a little bit more dressy. All right, these two, the one on the left is from Shein. It is not the greatest quality, but I really like the silhouette. It's kind of trending right now where it has a little bit of that dropped waist. It's tighter along the body, and it actually has like a couple of lines going up and down. I'll try to insert a photo if I can find what it looks like on the model. Haven't worn it yet. And then it kind of flows away from the waist with the flowy kind of like paper bag looking skirt. It does have a removable strap for around the waist, and then it does have the little skinny spaghetti straps for up top. This one actually would be so cute for a night out, like for going for dinner, because it does show a little bit more up top. It does show a little bit more of your décolletage and your shoulders, and it's tighter fitting around the body, like the bodice, which I don't like that for day-to-day at all, but I do like it for evenings out. So this one I'm going to reserve for going out for a nice dinner. I think that would be good, even though the quality is not that great, and we'll see how much I do reach for. The one on the right is actually from Hollister, and that one I'm sort of low-key regretting because the back is pretty much open, but has a bow that ties up in the back. So not my absolute favorite. That one again is a little bit milkmaid sort of. It's like a flowy smocked bodice that ties up in the back and has a poofy sleeve that you can wear off the shoulder or over the shoulder. It does have a thigh slit as well. It's a nice dress. I think it'll be good for the summer. I think it'll be an easy reach, like something just to throw on a hot day, like if it's plus 30 out or something. But it isn't my favorite, honestly. Like I wish I would have kept the receipt and like thought about it a little bit more, because I'm way past the return period. It still has tags on it, and I don't know if it's my best silhouette. So we are nearing the end, guys. Thank you for being with me this long if you're still here. So now we're getting into my going out dresses. Unless I misplaced one, the rest of them will be going out. And I think I'm going to leave outerwear and shoes for another video, because this video is already so long and I still have to edit it, and it's just going to be like astronomically long. So both of these dresses, you can tell, are really good for me in my color palette, because I do think that I fall into a spring summer somewhere in there. I'm not exactly sure my subgroup, but I'm pretty sure that I do rest somewhere between autumn and spring. The one on the right here I think would be a spring color, and the one on the left is bordering between like a soft spring and a soft autumn. So the color, the shade of green on the left, first of all, that's like my perfect shade of green. It's like this muted, soft, like slightly warmer sage mint color. It's absolutely beautiful. It's just such a elegant, flattering, sexy, beautiful dress. It's the perfect combination of sexy meets elegance. It's neither too much nor too little. It's just perfect. It reminds me a little bit of like Marilyn Monroe, kind of like a Sofia Vergara kind of vibe that I like to go for when I go out. Hugely complimented, makes me feel like $1,000,000, and flatters my features perfectly. The one on the right is from Aritzia. Oh, the one on the left, sorry if I didn't say, is from Revolve. And the one on the right is from Aritzia, and it is a flowy satin. I think it's like a midi to a maxi. It might be a midi dress, but on me it hits almost like a maxi because I'm so short. And then it's like slightly tighter around the bust, but not really tight, and very, very flowy. So that dress is quite versatile. I've worn it out for dinner. My favorite way to wear it is for a more fancy occasion, like going out for supper. Okay, these two dresses are from Shein, and I love them both. So again, the one on the left doesn't look like much on the hanger, but it is actually so classy and so beautiful. Again, these are not the best quality, but for what they are and for how good they actually look, and like the number of people who've complimented me, especially on the one on the right, which is the only one I've worn so far, people writing me, asking me where I got my dress from. Like, the quality is acceptable. It's not great, but it's acceptable. And when you are going out for dinner and you want to wear a different dress, you know, and not have to wear the same dress all the time, it's nice to have a couple options. I don't want a huge going out wardrobe of dresses, but it is nice to have a couple options. So honestly, for what they are and the acceptable quality, like, it's fine. They're not my fanciest dresses, they're not my best. So the one on the left is this really pretty buttercream color, which really flatters my colors for some reason. Again, I wouldn't have thought so. Old me would have been like, oh, I need to get a white dress, like it has to be white. But now that I know my color season a little bit better and I understand like my eye color, my hair color, and my intensity and stuff like that, this is actually really good for me. So I'll see if I can find a picture of the model wearing it to show you what it looks like. I haven't actually worn this one out yet. It shows a little bit more décolletage, shoulders, arms, but no cleavage whatsoever. It comes completely above the chest. It is a midi to a maxi length, and it has a very short slit at the bottom. I don't know if you can see, but it does have a little bit of a slit there. Absolutely beautiful dress. It makes me feel really elegant. It isn't the best quality, so like when I do put it on, I feel like, yeah, okay, I know that this isn't the best quality, but it's just, it's so flattering on, and it's really elegant as well and very classy because it really doesn't show any cleavage or anything. It's a very modest dress, albeit still kind of flirty and still kind of sexy. The one on the right shows a little bit more cleavage. That one is like a midi to a maxi. It has a ruffle at the bottom. That one I do have to wear a strapless bra with, and yeah, it's a little bit more sexy. Definitely a little bit more figure hugging as well. I like both of them. I have worn the one on the right once, and I haven't gotten around to the one on the left yet. Again, we have a couple more affordable dresses. The one on the right is from Shein, and again, this is sort of that lace overlay idea, which I really love. I think that lace is really nice because it looks a little bit retro and a little bit vintage, but still very feminine and very pretty. So it's kind of a nice way to do lace, but like in a more modern way. The one on the left, again, is more of this kind of yellow buttercream color. It is a size small. The one on the left is from the company Commence. I have been seeing advertisements for Commence on Instagram left, right, and center. I've been tempted to order but didn't know about the quality. The pricing wasn't super cheap. Like this dress was 60 Canadian dollars. I don't really want to return it for a different size because I don't know how good the return policy and the return time and stuff would be. So this is a size small, and it's just slightly too large, but it still works. I could also get it taken in, and it might actually be worth getting taken in because it is very flattering. It has a dropped waist, and then it kind of flows away, and this is about a midi to a maxi length on me, and then kind of a nice square neckline with a thicker strap. So it's kind of that whole trending like dropped waist thing that is very popular right now. And finally, you guys, we are on our last two dresses, and these are obviously both going out dresses. Both of these are from Revolve. The one on the right, actually I haven't had a chance to wear either of them yet, but I really want to. The one on the right, which has the underwire detail and the cups there, super feminine, super sultry, super sexy, but also I think very, very classy. Again, it definitely gives a nod to sort of a Marilyn Monroe, Sofia Vergara vibe, which is what I love. It is a midi to a maxi, and it is figure hugging and doesn't show too much leg, but definitely shows more chest and a little bit of cleavage. And it's just such a beautiful dress on. I absolutely love it. I posted a picture of myself wearing this on my Instagram quite a long time ago. I've had this dress for over a year and haven't worn it yet, but I want to, and I'm going to. The one on the left is more of a ruched detail, ruched design. It's very bodycon, very bandage kind. Both of them do up with a zipper. The one on the left also has a V detail, like the metal, like V boning there, and it's strapless. So I'm not the hugest fan of a strapless dress. I prefer something with a little bit more support, something that's going to lift my chest up a little bit more. I can wear a strapless bra with it, but I think that for me, I'm definitely more flattered by something like on the left where I have like a built-in sort of bra. So okay guys, so I forgot about the pile of clothes on my bed. There's just about 4 items to show you, so don't fret, it's not going to be too long. So these are 2 cardigans that I actually got from Shein. Shein is proving to be a great source for cardigans as well. The one on the left has a lace detail, and it's a little bit more kind of vintage, grandma, retro vibes. I really love that about it. I love that it has the lace detail. It definitely makes me feel very old-fashioned, which I really like. And it is a little bit more of a yellow undertone for sure, but surprisingly it works really well, and I just really like it. I will say that the fabric for sweaters and cardigans from Shein is not the greatest. The one on the right is has buttons, and it also has a little tie detail at the top, and it has a wider neck, which when I saw it on the website, I didn't think it was going to work. I didn't know what I would think about it, but after getting it home and trying it on, it is so good. Like, it's so good. If you guys are looking for a easy, comfortable, slightly looser fitting, more of a boxier, flowier cardigan that you can just throw on over top of any shirt and skirt or over top of any dress, you have to check this one out. Sorry guys if you hear my voice cracking. I've been talking now for like, I think 3 hours and I'm definitely getting a little bit tired and my brain isn't working as well. So I'm starting to get a little bit burnt out today. So these two t-shirts, both from Shein. Actually, like I said, the t-shirt quality is not bad. The one on the right is a little bit bigger, the one that says limoncello on it. And it is this yellow buttercream color as well. This one is okay to wear with like a skirt and then a cardigan over top. That's why I got these. I wanted to be able to wear them underneath a cardigan with a skirt, since the C'est La Vie t-shirts seemed to work pretty well for me. The limoncello one is nice, but it's actually so soft and so stretchy, and it's a little bit bigger. It's a little oversized. So that one I could see myself styling with a skirt, but also I could see myself just wearing it to bed. Really, really like it. And then the one on the left is more of a cool winter white. As you can see, it's almost a little too cool for me, but I can make it work if I wear it with a warmer cardigan. And it says Rome, Italy on it. And that one is a little bit more my size. It's just a little loose, but it's not oversized. So that one is fine to wear tucked into a skirt with a cardigan on top as well. Okay guys, these are the last two items, and these are arguably some of the more modern style items. The one on the right is actually a sweater, which I don't usually wear sweaters like this, but actually I kind of low-key like the look of a slightly oversized like fleece sweatshirt like this one over top of a pleated, like a fancier pleated skirt. Something about that vibe. Super cute. You can tuck it in or you can leave it untucked, or you can just kind of gently fold the underside up. You don't even have to tuck it. It just looks so effortlessly comfortable and like fall vibes. Like 100% I'm going to get an oat milk espresso and I'm going to a bookstore to go shopping. I was very surprised at the quality of this sweater, how comfortable it is. I've already washed it and it washed really well and I like it. So it's kind of this like, I would say neutral beigey color with a slightly green undertone, and I like it. The one on the left is a t-shirt. Both of these are from Shein, by the way. The one on the left is a t-shirt that says Milano, and it is more of a cool to almost an off-white color. It definitely is a little bit more oversized and boxy, and again, really great for tucking. Both of these are good for skirts. So I just wanted them because if you guys watch my other videos, you remember me talking about how much I loved long sleeve t-shirts, the ones that are a little bit more fitted. That used to be my vibe. I would wear a long sleeve t-shirt or a bodysuit tucked into a more flowy skirt. Since I've gotten away from that, I kind of like the silhouette of something a little bit more boxier on top, which I think is reflected in my dress preferences. Like if I'm going to wear a top and a skirt, I'm not really into the super tight fitted top look anymore. That could change, I don't know, but right now I'm just not liking it. Unless I'm like going out for dinner or something, then I would like it to be a little bit more tightly fitted. But just for every day, I want something comfortable. And I have to say, like I said, you guys, my preference is definitely still dresses. But if I'm going to wear a skirt, I need things that are easy to pair with the skirts for a slightly different look. And these are both great options. And it's kind of nice to be able to layer things as well, so you're not just stuck with like a cardigan and a skirt. Yeah, so those are the last two things in today's video. So that's it, you guys. That was everything in my wardrobe. That took a lot longer than I thought it was going to. I feel like I've been here forever, and this video is going to take forever to edit as well. But I hope that this was helpful for you to see some of the things that I have in my closet. I'm officially exhausted. I think I started filming this video at 9:30, 10 in the morning, and it's 3 p.m. I did take a break to eat and to talk to my mom on the phone, but I still feel like I've been in here all day, but that's okay because this is what I love to do. So now I can get going on my laundry, washing those couple Shein items before I can wear them, and then also maybe start looking at the bedding that I have. And the other thing I ordered, which I guess I can tell you now if you care, is I ordered a collage of vintage photos because I'm gonna make like a, a gallery wall downstairs behind my chair in the corner of the living room, because it's gonna be like my little reading corner. And especially going into fall winter, I want it to be super cozy. And I found some super, super cute pictures. I'm so excited to set them up. So I'll show you guys that when I get them. They were from Amazon and they were a set of 16 and they come framed. So really nice, excited to get that set up. And yeah, I'm just like actually pooped now. So I have to finish my coffee, take my dog to the dog park, and I wanted to stop in at the used bookstore just to see if they had any like super, super old vintagey books that I might be able to get just for like decor, like coffee table decor. I was gonna order like something from Amazon, like a like one of those fake like Hamlet coffee table books. And I was like, no, I bet you if I go to the used bookstore, which we don't have a huge bookstore here, like a huge used bookstore, but they do have a lot of older classics. I was like, I bet I can find an actual like Shakespeare book, like an old one that actually smells old, you know, like the pages and stuff are turned all yellow and they have that old musty like bookstore smell. That's kind of what I want. So anyway, guys, that's it for today. I'm exhausted. Ciao.